Alrighty, you heard the news. All the questions got released in the question bank. We have like 300 or so. So I'm gonna be going through all of the hard ones on Desmos here. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So I haven't seen any of these, by the way. Oh no, I've seen like two of them. I've seen like two of them. I'm literally solving these blind for you, and you can see how I'm approaching all the questions. So, very valuable video, and it's available totally for free. So, probably. All right. So this question, in the given equation, s and r are constants, and s is greater than 0. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, what is the value of s? So let me make this window a little smaller, make this a little bigger. There we go. Okay, so first I'm going to set these equal to each other with a tilde. It's probably the easiest way to do this. So do this minus s over 13 tilde r x1 minus 8. So here we go. We can't stop there because I believe we'd plug x1 in first. Sorry, a bunch of typos. Random 5. Okay, so s is just 403. Yeah, that's it. S is 403. Cool. I did this one on TikTok. I already knew how to do this one. But you should probably already know this, but you should do this as well. S is greater than 0. Just an extra condition. You put that in squiggly brackets. So this one's not that bad. A manufacturing plant makes 10-inch, 9-inch, and 7-inch frying pans. During a certain day, the number of 10-inch frying pans that the manufacturing plant makes is 4 times the number n of 9-inch frying pans it makes. And the number of 7-inch frying pans is 10. It makes 100 total. Which equation represents this? So it'll be something equals 100. And then your 7-inch frying pans is 10. So it'll just be plus 10 at the end. So I know it's either C or D. So the amount of 10-inch frying pans is 4 times the number n of 9-inch frying pans. So we have 4n, 9 inches, pause, and just n, 10 inches. So it would be 5n total, 4n plus n, and it's going to be 5n plus 10. I'm relatively confident it's D. Okay, this one. A team hosting an event to raise money for new uniforms plans to sell at least 140 tickets before the event and at least 220 during the event to raise a total of at least 5820. So at least 5820 means it'd be like this. So I can eliminate this one and this one. Think of it like this: the left side has to be at least 5820 or bigger. So this side's always going to be bigger, like most of the time. Now we have 140 tickets before the event and 220 during the event. And the tickets during the event is X. The price of a ticket during this event is $3 less. Okay, so the ticket during the event is X, which is 3 less than before the event. So before the event, it'd be X plus 3, because before the event it's $3 more than during the event. It's just X. You might think it's X minus 3 because it's $3 less, but it's the opposite, because during the event it's cheaper, but before the event it's going to be X plus 3 because X is your term right there, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that well, but it's just B here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, for the function f of cx is 8, or is x minus 8, where c is a constant. If f of 2 is 35, what's the value of c? Okay, this is interesting in Desmos. The issue here is you have a constant and x in that parentheses there. So, I mean, the way I can solve this is, it's a principle from calc, but it's not that hard. It's called u sub. What you do is you set u equal to a certain pair of variables. So here it's cx. So this would turn into f of u equals, and then what's x? So x would just be divided by c both sides. It'd be u over c minus 8. So this would be your new equation in terms of u. U is just a variable. It could be like a or something, for example, but f of u is going to be u over c minus 8. So I'm going to plug that in with the, wait, no, not with the total. Wait, yeah, no, not with the total, not with the total. U over c minus 8, and then we're going to go next line, f of 2 tilde 35 because of this condition right here. So the answer of C is going to be 0.0465, which should be your answer, I believe. I'm not sure if there's an easier way to do this in Desmos, but this is just the way I thought of immediately. I'll make a video if there's an easier way for this. The cost of renting a large canopy tent for up to 10 days is $4.30 for the first day and $2.15 for each additional day. Which of the following gives the cost Y in dollars of renting the tent for X days? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to read that shit. So $4.30 for the first day. This is a textbook plug-in points question. The first day is $4.30. So when X is 1, Y is $4.30. So if you plug 1 into any of these equations, you should get $4.30 to be your right answer. So here, we plug 1 in, we get $4.30. Here, we plug 1 in, we get $2.15. 1 in, $6.45. 1 in, you get $6.45 as well. So it has to be A, because it only makes sense. You plug 1 in, it should be $430, and the only one that is actually that is A. That's it. That one's pretty simple. But like the trap on this one would be $4.30 plus $2.15, which then you put C and then you get it wrong because you don't plug in the point. Line K is shown on the xy plane. Line J is perpendicular to this line. What's the slope of line J? So easiest way to do this is I would use a table for this because you're given 2 points here. You're given like a ton of points, but 2 points here. First one will be -6, 0. That's gonna be your x-intercept, and then the next one will be 0, -5. So here is your graph. Now this is going to be the slope here. I already know this in my head, but this in fraction form is going to be -5/6. So then if you have a line that's perpendicular to another line, that means the slope is a negative reciprocal. So if you have like 1/2, the negative reciprocal of this would be -2. And then if you have like 5, the negative reciprocal would be -1/5. So here, you're making the negative reciprocal of this, -5/6, so you have to flip the sign and then flip the numbers. So it turns into +6/5, which is just, yeah, that's the answer. And you can put 1.2 if you wanted to. This one is really, really simple. Which one has no solution? We can just go ahead and plug these in, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Plus 3y equals -9. No solution, by the way, is going to be parallel. Let's zoom in here. Okay, yeah, so this will be infinite. Next one, you have 2x minus 3y equals 9, and we have 3x plus 4y equals 10. Let's see if these are parallel. Zoom out a little bit. No, they intersect, so it's not B. Then we have 2x minus 3y equals 9, and we have -6x plus 9y. Wait. 9y equals -27. Is this going to be infinite as well? I hope not. Yeah, so this is going to be infinite for sure. This one. Then we have 4x. I'm assuming it's this answer, unless I have to go back and maybe I screwed it up. What? Wait, no, it's negative. There we go. Alright, they're parallel, no solution, so it's D. Alright, good. That one took way too long. Anthony will spend at most $115 to purchase X small cheese pizzas and Y large. The given inequality represents this. What is the interpretation of 14y? So 14y is something to do with the large pizzas, because y is large pizza, so it's not B, it's not D. Now 14y, y is the amount of large pizzas, and then $14 is each pizza. 14y together is going to be the total because you're doing pizza times the price of each pizza. So this would be the total 14y. If you just asked for y, it would be the pizzas, and then 14y or 14 would be the price of each of them. So 14y is the total. It's gonna be C. Next one, okay. In the given system, W is constant. In the xy plane, the graphs intersect at the point Q, 19. Q is the constant. What's the value of W? So let's go ahead and plug these in. This is gonna be a pain in my ass. I already know. There's probably a way to do this with the regression really easily, but I'm not doing that right now. So they intersect at Q, 19. And I'm just gonna like visualize this. So this only goes left to right. You're trying to have them intersect somewhere on this line where like Q, comma 19 is. So maybe it's like somewhere here, and I just drag these. Okay, as you can see, they're getting really close. It's just a little bit of experimentation here. So it'll be somewhere around here. I'm going to increase the bounds. Okay, let's try like 12. Now the point is just off. It only goes left to right, so bring it up a little bit. Okay, we'll bring it to 11. Is there a point where they intersect? Okay, Q is a whole number. That's a good sign. Okay, yeah, as you can see, they intersect right here when Q is 128 and W is 11. So W is 11, and that's the answer. All right, cool, nice. Next one, what value of T is a solution? This one's really, really simple. Replace T with X. I don't even know if you have to, but that's just what I do. 0.46 equals 8. 6 minus 0.00. Oh, shit. Alright, like that. What value of X is a solution to this equation? X will be... Whoa. I don't like that at all. I mean, I guess that's it. Negative 0.327. Let me verify with this with a tilde real quick. Okay, so I did that right. I did that right. Okay, it's good. This is the answer. Alright, good. Next. If this is that, the value of x minus 5 is between which of the following pairs. This one's really, really easy. If you're wondering why I have headphones on, by the way, it's because I'm listening to Mr. Drake himself. Gotta lock in, so. Okay, so x is going to be 5. That's going to be between this one right here, so let's see. Easy. The equation that gives a corresponding temperature H in temperature degrees Fahrenheit of any substance that has a temperature of V kelvins where V is greater than 0. If a substance has a temperature of this Fahrenheit, what is the corresponding temperature in kelvins of the substance? So you're going to be plugging Fahrenheit in for H because H is the Fahrenheit, and use a tilde to solve for B. This one's really easy. So Fahrenheit tilde, the equation is going to be 9 times V minus 273.15 over 5 plus 32. So V will be 515, and it's really reassuring that the number is a whole number, so that's the answer. Next one, I made a TikTok on this one, so this is the second one that I know. Function G is defined by this equation. I'm going to plug it in first and foremost. Shit. A minus 14, and then A is less than 0, so I'm going to say A is negative 1. Doesn't matter what the number is, just has to be negative. And then we're going to do G of 15A times G of 7A. It's going to be 609. 609 is the answer. Easy peasy. An auditorium has seats for this many people. Tickets to attend a show at the auditorium currently cost $4. For each dollar increase, 100 fewer tickets will be sold. This situation can be modeled by the equation that where X is the number, or X is the increase in ticket price, and Y is the revenue in dollars from ticket sales. What value of X is the maximum of the graph? You're looking at the maximum, which means you're plugging the graph in here. This one's really simple. So I'm going to look at the graph, and you have to look at the X value because that's what it's asking you. It says what value of X is the maximum of the graph. So, yucky. Where's the maximum? Oh, it's right here. Oh my goodness. Alright, so X is 7. Easy. What is the sum of solutions to the given equation? Plug it in. I mean, just from looking at it, the only two numbers squared, or the only number squared that's 1 is 1. So like this could be 48, which would be 1, and this could be 46, which would be 1, and then you add them and you get 94. So let me just see here and verify to make sure I'm not mentally dumb here. 46, 48, and this is going to be 94. You can do it in Desmos if you want, but okay, this one. A park ranger hung blah 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 in the shape of a right prism. Each house has a height of 11. The length of each house's base is x inches. So height is 11. Length is x, which is one more than the width of the house. So if this is one more than the width, then the width would be x minus 1. So then you just multiply all these together to find the volume. So it would just be 11 times x minus 1. So it's just a. The issue there, the trap is setting, if you were to set like x plus 1 and then this to x, you get it wrong because you set it up improperly. Okay, this one, c is constant as one solution. What's the value of c? The normal way to do this would be to do b squared minus 4ac and then plug these into that and solve for one solution, which would be that. But the Desmos way is way easier. Alright, so I'm going to add a slider for c. And it tells me there's one solution. So I'm going to plug the answer choices in and see which graph only has one solution. So let's go with negative 68. As you can see, there's no solution there. So wrong, you're looking for 1. Now we have negative 50. Oh, it looks like 1 to me. I don't know. What do you think, guys? B? I'm going to try C just to make sure. 2 solutions wrong. 2 solutions wrong, so it's going to be B. Alright, nice. The function f gives the product of a number x, product is multiplying, and a number that is 91 more than x. So this means x plus 91. And a product, so you're multiplying the two. It would be x times x plus 91. So you're going to distribute, and you get x squared plus 91x, which is going to be c. Yeah, c, nice. Easy peasy. The graph of f is shown where f is at, a, b, and c are constants. For how many values of x does f of x equal 0? F of x equals 0 is the same as y equals 0. That is the x-axis intercept. So you're looking for how many times it touches this axis right here, which is very obvious that it's 0. It doesn't touch any. So just it's 0, not 1. Sorry. You might think this is a hard one because you get this really hard equation with a bunch of constants, but you literally just look at the graph and f of x is 0 times because it never touches the axis right there. This one looks hard. Function f is a quadratic function where f of negative 20 is that, and that vertex at that. Okay, so first, I guess I'll we go table probably. So we have 2 points here. We have negative 20 comma 0. And we have negative 4 comma 0. Let's do a quadratic here. We don't have enough information yet, but the next point we could do is r comma negative 64. That is the vertex. Now I'm going to add a slider for r. And I think what I'm looking for is for the vertex of the graph, because it tells you this is the vertex, to be at something comma negative 64. So I guess what I could do y equals negative 64 and see when the vertex is on like this point right there. So yeah, you literally just drag it here and you see when the vertex of the graph is going to be right there. So I'm going to expand the bounds here. Ignore the circle, by the way, it just does that. Okay, so as you can see, it's at 12, is that right? The point I plugged in for the vertex here is on that negative 64 point, which I knew to put this because you have this point right here when the vertex is negative 64. So this has to be the answer. R is going to be negative 12. And that's it. I might make a video on this one. This one is pretty hard. So if you're confused, then we'll just wait for that one, I guess. But essentially, plug that point in. These are these 2 points. And then plug this point in with a slider for R. And you want to drag it until the 3 points are actually on the quadratic equation because they should be. Okay, this one, the area of a triangle is equal to x squared. The length of the base of the triangle is that, and the height is that. What's the value of x? Set it up. Height is x minus 10. 1/2 base height is going to be area of the triangle. So it's going to be x squared like that. And because it says equal to x squared. I'm going to plug these into that equation real quick. So we're going to get 1/2 2x plus 22 x minus 10. I'm just going to distribute this really easily. First one is kind of easy to do. We do x plus 11. So it only distributes to that because it's just a half. Same multiplication anyway, community property. X minus 10. So here's your equation of the triangle, and it tells you that this is going to be equal to x squared. So what I want to do first is distribute this stuff. Then I can solve for x. So I'm going to distribute x times x is x squared. X times negative 10 is negative 10x. 11 times x is 11x. 11 times negative 10 is negative 110. So then we have x squared plus x minus 110 equals x squared. So we can cross these out. We have x minus 110 equals 0. Bring it on the other side, add it, and then you get x equals 110, and that is going to be your final answer. I believe that is the answer. Maybe that's wrong, I'm not sure, but alright, the functions g and h are defined by the given equations where x is greater than or equal to 0, which is the following equations displays as a constant or coefficient the minimum value the function defines where x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so first I'm going to plug these in. Okay, get a break from talking. 0.16, 0.4. You gotta put parentheses if you have more than two numbers, or more than one number. Which of the following equations displays as a coefficient the minimum value the function defines when x is greater than or equal to 0? What this means is you're looking at just the right side of the graph. So from 0 onward, the minimum value of this one is 40.92. So is there 40.92 in this equation anywhere? 18, 1, 1, no, it's clearly not there. The minimum value is 40. 40 is not represented there, so 1 is wrong. Now we're going to check h of x. X plus 4. Alright, cool. We're just looking at the green graph. I'm going to delete this. The minimum is going to be 69.14. And there's clearly no 69 there, so it's not going to be 2 either. It'll be D. Basically, the minimum value, you're looking on the graph, which is right there, because you're looking from x is greater than 0 on the right side, because it tells you right there. And then you have to see if that number is in the equation like directly, so that's clearly not. A data set of 27 different numbers has a mean of 33 and a median of 33. A new data set is created by adding 7 to each number in the original data set that is greater than the median, and subtracting 7 from each number in the original data set that is less than the median. Okay, so you have 27 different numbers with a mean and median that are the same, and you're going to add 7 to each number that is greater than the median and subtract 7 from each that is less than the median. So if you had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would add 7 to both of these and subtract 7 from both of these. This is a bad example because this would be negative, but this would be like negative 6. Am I stupid? Negative 5. Sorry. 3 because you don't subtract it since it's not greater than or equal to the median, because this is the median right here. It's not greater than or less than, this is just the median, so you don't subtract anything. And then this one you add 7 to each, so it's going to be 11, 12. And if you add 7 to this side and you subtract 7 to this side, the median and the mean are going to remain the exact same, because the median is still going to be that 3, and the mean is also going to be that 3 because the numbers didn't change of the difference, if that makes sense. And the sum of the numbers won't change either because you're adding the same amount to both sides. You're subtracting 7 and you're adding 7 to the same amount of numbers because it's evenly distributed. So A, B, and C are all going to be the same. And the standard deviation is the only thing that changes because standard deviation pretty much always changes no matter what number you add. Deviation is almost never the same, so it has to be D here. And to give you a visualization here, if you have a mean of, let's make it 10, 11, 12, 14. All right, so your mean and median are both 12, right? Okay, now they're both 12. I'm gonna subtract 7 from both sides. Oh no, I'm gonna subtract 7 from the left side and add 7 to the right side. But I'm gonna leave 12 the same. That's what the problem is saying. So like this would be 3, this would be 4, this would be 20 because you add 7, and this would be 21. As you can see, the median and the mean are both the same. Actually, let me show you. Median is 12, mean is still 12 as well. So this stays the same, and the sum of the numbers stays the same as well. You can look back at it, but I don't have to do that for you. It's just D. To study the moisture content in a tube or in a group of trees, samples from the trunk of each tree were taken from 25 trees and cut in the shape of a cube. The length of one edge of the cube is 2 centimeters. If the cube has a mass of 2.56, what is the density of the cube in grams per cubic centimeter? So you have to know your pyramid here. I believe it's something like this. It's like mass, density, volume. So then mass is going to be It's like that. So mass is density times volume. Density equals mass over volume, and then volume would be like mass over density, which you could figure out from just doing algebra. But here we are given the mass, which is 2.56, and we are given the length of one edge of the cube. So from that, I can find the volume. A cube has 3 dimensions. So to find the volume of the cube, all you do is going to be a side length squared, so 2 squared, or a cubed, which is 8. So the volume of the cube is going to be 8 here. So we have mass equals density times 8. Okay? Alright, so with me. Now we use the tilde to do all the work for us. 2.56, tilde, d, 8. D is going to be 0.32. Your density is 0.32, and that's going to be your answer. Let me make sure I did that correctly. Yes, that is correct. So you have to remember this pyramid. Mass is equal to density times volume. Density equals mass over volume. Volume is mass over density. You can figure that out using algebra as well. So you just set that up in an equation and use tilde to do the heavy lifting for you. The table shows a distribution of two. I'm running out of Vimeo time on my free plan, so I'm gonna have to split this up into 2 videos. The table shows a distribution of 2 types of flowers at 2 different sites. If a flower represented in the table is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting a flower given that it's a tulip? Okay, so the given is going to be your denominator. And your numerator will be your first piece of info here. So the given is that it's a tulip, and there's 50 tulips total. So it'd be something over 50. And then selecting a flower from site A, it'd be just 35 out of that 50. So it's 35 over 50, and I can simplify it down into 7 over 10. Yeah, so that's your answer. That was pretty simple. A reseller buys certain books for a purchase price of $5 each, and then marks them each for sale at a consumer price that is 270% of the purchase price. Let me stop there. Purchase price of $5 each, and marks them each for sale at a consumer price that is 270% of the purchase price. So 270% of will be 2.7. So I'm going to multiply this by 2.7 to get 13.5. Yeah, 13.5. You can do that in Desmos as well. So this is your consumer price now. Any books not yet sold are marked at a discounted price that is 70% off the consumer price. What is the discounted price? Blah, blah, blah. So 70% off is the same thing as 70% less. So I'm going to multiply this by 1 minus 0.7. And then Desmos can solve it for me. 4.05, that's your final answer, and that's it. Let me know if you have any questions about percentages, because a lot of people do, which I don't blame you. Alright, I got 1 minute and 40 seconds. One of these participants will be selected at random. What is the probability of selecting a participant from group A given that the participant is at least 10 years of age? So given, once again, is going to be at the bottom. At least 10 years of age, you have 10, 19, 20 plus, and you have 30 of each. So you have 60 people that are at least 10 years. So it'll be something over 60. And then participant from group A. So this would just be the people who are out of that 60 that are in group A. So you're looking here, go to the right. 17 plus 8 is going to be 25 over 60, which you can simplify down to 5 over 12. Yeah, so that's B. I believe I did that right. I don't know. I haven't seen these questions before, so this is just how I'm doing them. But yeah, so on the bottom you have given. On the top you have the first piece of information out of that group. So here I'm picking group A out of those 10 plus year people. So it'd be 25 over 60. And there you go. I'm going to solve the rest of the 15 questions on a separate video, which should be below this one on my website. Yeah, I'll get that out real quick.